Do you get a strong sense that you have unfinished business from a past life in Egypt or unrealized potential in this life? Do the names Lemuria and Atlantis seem to echo in your soul memory? Do you feel drawn to the Egyptian goddess known as Isis? Then this dynamic transit may be just what's needed to help you find resolution. Like the energy of the cosmos, this video is timeless. Although I'm posting this video to coincide with the upcoming transit on April 22nd, the messages contained in this video are not bound to this transit only. May you hear the message that your soul needs at this time. Our sun will be conjuncting the asteroid Isis on April 22nd at 2 degrees and 38 minutes of Taurus. Asteroid Isis will be squaring Mars and Pluto and opposing the Shapley Supercluster, also called Shapley Attractor, creating a very dynamic cosmic conversation. These energies will begin building around April 18th as the sun moves closer in orb to the asteroid Isis. Then the sun will conjunct Isis on April 22nd, reaching exactitude around 0744 a.m. Austin, Texas time. And the energies will start fading around April 28th as the sun moves past the conjunct degree. Above all else, the Egyptian goddess Aset followed her own inner voice. In all that she did, her dedication and duty were guided by her own self-awareness. So if you desire to embody the strength and beauty of the goddess known as Isis, then look inside and acknowledge what is already within you first. Hey, I'm Kellie, and whether you're feeling a surge in your healing and intuitive abilities, a strong desire to protect what you love, or just an intense curiosity about the ancient wisdom and mysteries of Egypt, this could be the asteroid Isis urging you to remember. I believe that any serious discussion about the Egyptian goddess known as Isis should begin by acknowledging the fact that she was originally called Aset. There is power in one's name, in the words that we use, and how we use them. This truth cannot be overstated, in my opinion. I've been working with language and law of attraction now for over 2 decades, and I've been saying for years that language vibrates because we do. And again, I believe that any serious discussion about the Egyptian goddess Aset will demonstrate this truth. And to simplify things in this video, I will refer to the asteroid as Isis and the goddess as Aset. This video will be a blend of some common themes associated with the goddess Aset, along with the deeper energies and messages that are coming through my studies at this time. Some of the themes that stand out to me during this transit will probably be very familiar to you as well, such as resurrection, reinventing the self, language and law of attraction, which I'm excited to touch on, the power of words and names, and things that the goddess Aset are known for, such as the divine mother, nurturer and protector, trickster, wife and queen, as well as the grieving widow, mother and healer. Every molecule of the Egyptian landscape is saturated with her energy, her name, her memories, the energy of magic and healing and resurrection and even trickery, the ability for great compassion and grieving what is lost. Very important lesson for just about anyone on the planet at this time. Divine love, protection, and sovereignty. Isis is said to fly between life and death, between warring gods and kings and pharaohs. She is fearless and faithful, and her empathy transcends culture, time, and the human experience. Although the goddess Aset became absorbed into the Greco-Roman iconography and thus renamed Isis, she never ceased being first and foremost Egyptian. Any transit and alignment to the asteroid Isis connects us to one of the most powerful and revered sacred feminine deities in human history, spanning over 4 centuries and counting. The Egyptian goddess Aset embodied magical prowess, devoted protection, and profound healing abilities, and the sovereign authority of the divine feminine. While there are multiple pieces to this current transit, with Isis forming an opposition to Shapley and a T-square to the Pluto-Mars opposition, I'll focus mainly on the goddess Aset herself and how you can access and interpret her energies through the houses in your natal chart. Transiting asteroid Isis activates our soul memory, regardless of your culture, race, or gender, social or economic status, political beliefs, and regardless if you've ever had past lives in Egypt. It doesn't matter where you live, what you do, or how much you make. The goddess Aset is accessible to all of us. There are plenty of videos out there already that talk about the connection between Egypt and Lemuria or Atlantis, and there's nothing wrong with that. But say you've had past lives in Atlantis or Lemuria or Egypt. Great. Now what? What will you do with that information in this life? How will you bring through those gifts and skills in this life? And how will you use that understanding to elevate your vibration or your environment in this life? Connecting with the goddess Aset can help you resurrect what seems permanently lost. This isn't just about physical or emotional healing, but the restoration of soul fragments, relationships, and sacred knowledge. And as I say in my other videos, you don't need to have the asteroid Isis in your natal chart to work with this transit or to connect with the goddess Aset. But if you do have natal aspects to this asteroid, you may feel these energies activating more powerfully in those areas of your life. Before we get into the asteroid Isis through the 12 houses, here are some powerful messages to focus on. Whether you want to meditate or simply attune yourself to this transit, the core energies present during this alignment include sacred protection, meaning the ability to create energetic safe spaces for yourself and your loved ones. Divine resurrection, bringing back to life what seems lost forever. Compassion and resilience, lead with love and stay the course. If you want to meditate on these energies, focus on this key message. I am the embodiment of divine nurturing power. My love heals, my devotion protects, and my wisdom transforms. You can say this as a mantra. You can repeat this and just sit with this for a while and see how it feels in your energy field. And if you want to take your practice deeper, here's a list of questions you can focus on through either meditation or journaling or whatever practice resonates with you. What unfinished business do I need to explore at this time? What obstacles or excuses can I overcome by thinking outside the box? What gifts or opportunities have I overlooked or taken for granted? What resourcefulness and untapped potential am I sitting on right now? And what decisive action can I take right now to realign me with my purpose and natural flow? In my own natal chart, I have the asteroid Isis tightly conjunct my natal Jupiter on the cusp of my 6th and 7th house, and squaring my natal Saturn in the 10th house. I'd say this qualifies as unfinished business. In the current landscape of social media, the merging, blending, and blurring of cultural lines continually makes it harder to sort out what may be true or more original source material and what is just copy-paste from other websites or even clickbait. Now, I'm not an Egyptologist or a historian, but I am deeply driven to connect with and access my ancient lifetimes in Egypt. And in my effort to recover these seemingly lost memories, I decided to keep it simple. I'm taking a more basic approach to what feels so familiar yet still beyond my awareness. So if you're like me and you're just wanting to connect without overthinking it or without having to travel to the pyramids, which who can afford that, right? Then just start wherever your attention guides you and the rest will follow. In my commitment to seeking the truth of Aset, beyond the spiritual trendiness of being able to cite the list of special skills on the resume of Aset found on Astrology, I'm just kidding, that's not a real thing. My desire to remember has been brewing for decades, but I've only been truly researching and digging in recent months. I'm finally in a place to remember and experience the teachings of Aset, and it's finally happening. In the books and videos that I'm watching and researching now, as I read and listen, my soul is remembering. and my gratitude becomes overwhelming at times. For those who have natal alignments to the asteroid Isis, here are some of the traits associated with this connection. You embody the mother archetype, expressing divine nurturing and protection. You have a deep connection to the divine wisdom and rightful use of authority. You're a natural guardian of sacred knowledge and universal truth. You intuitively understand life and death cycles, transformation, and resurrection. You're naturally decisive, committed, watchful, resilient, and sovereign. You serve as a natural mediator between physical and spiritual realms. Now, along with these gifts come some integration challenges, such as overprotection, which offers the opportunity to learn balanced guardianship that empowers rather than restricts. Self-sacrifice, which teaches the importance of filling your own cup before serving others, and carrying the burdens of others, which develops discernment about when to heal and when to teach. Good stuff. Now that we have a more clear idea about some of the energies and messages being activated by the asteroid Isis, let's look at what areas of life you may feel this more deeply. First house. Your presence naturally commands respect and authority. You project nurturing protection towards others. Second house. You value devotion, protection, and sacred knowledge. Your sense of self-worth is connected to your ability to nurture and restore. Third house, your communication style carries divine authority and healing power. Your words have power to restore and protect. Fourth house, your home is a sacred temple of protection and healing. You create safe spaces that nurture transformation. Fifth house, your creative expression carries transformative power. You naturally protect and nurture children. Your playfulness holds deep wisdom and healing potential. Sixth house, you serve others through protection and restoration. You bring divine order to practical situations. Seventh house, you seek and create devoted, sacred partnerships. You naturally mediate and restore balance in relationships. Eighth house, your transformative abilities help others through their darkest times. You protect sacred knowledge of life's mysteries and transitions. Ninth house, you explore and protect universal truths and higher knowledge. You naturally understand the bigger cycles of existence, and you protect and preserve sacred teachings and spiritual traditions. 10th house, your career path involves nurturing, protection, or restoration. You demonstrate how to use power with wisdom and compassion. 11th house, your vision for the future includes restoration of divine balance. You intuitively understand how to nurture community and group healing. 12th house, you serve as a mediator between realms and dimensions. You instinctively understand universal patterns of death and rebirth. Let me know in the comments which of these qualities you resonate with most. Are you the protective guardian, the magical healer, or the keeper of sacred wisdom? Like I said earlier, if you truly want to connect with this goddess, then you can start by using her original North African Egyptian name, Aset. Although the goddess Aset became absorbed into the Greco-Roman iconography, she never ceased being first and foremost Egyptian. I feel it's important to acknowledge and honor this point. During the period where this happened, the depth of her Heka, which is loosely translated as magic or power, but not limited to just that linguistic translation, but the depth of her Heka, her power, her magic, became a little unsettling to those in positions of authority at that time. So she was linguistically and symbolically reduced or downplayed to the more acceptable archetypes like mother, wife, and nurturer. For some of you, this might be an important place to look. This may be something that's being activated or triggered within you at this time. Look at those places where you feel reduced to a certain role, or maybe you feel the role that you play is not fully acknowledged for the sacredness that it holds. Look at that and see what needs to be released. Is it the story? Is it your story that needs to be released? Is it other people's story of you? What is it that needs to move out of the way so that you can tap into the divine power, male or female, wherever this is in your chart? Tap into that divine power of the healer, the sacred healer, wisdom keeper, and protector. Because if you're watching this right now, there's a good chance you're being called to one of the following: resurrect something valuable, claim your authority, or create sacred space. The gift of the goddess Aset is sacred restoration, devotion, and protection, among many other things. And this gift is activated through the transiting asteroid Isis. I hope this gives you an idea of how the asteroid Isis and the goddess Aset can empower you at this time through this transit and beyond. The divine mother archetype reminds us that true strength lies in our capacity to nurture, protect, and restore. And in a world that often undervalues these qualities, the energy of Aset, activated through the asteroid Isis, helps us recognize and reclaim these qualities as the profound spiritual powers that they are. Please let me know in the comments what message is tugging at your soul right now. What does the goddess Aset want you to remember? I love to hear your thoughts. And remember, humanity is a group project, so thank you for doing your part.